Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host AMF1534 here. Let's play some F-Zero Maximum Velocity. It's one of my favorite titles for the Game Boy Advance system. It's the only other F-Zero game in the series that I particularly enjoyed. And it's awesome. It really is. It has a completely different set of vehicles to use in contrast to the one from Super Nintendo. All brand new tracks, great track design, and it has an excellent soundtrack to boot. And actually, I just noticed for the first time that the Maximum Velocity text down there actually is the same font they used for the Spiderman movies. So there we go. I'm gonna get it all set up here. So make sure everything's all hunky-dory here. 5 lives, of course. Even though I'm pretty good at F-Zero games, so I'm probably never going to get to the point where I need to use an extra life. But you know, just on the off chance that it happens. So at the opening screen here, there's a Grand Prix training multi-pack and single-pack link. Of course, we're not going to be using any of those besides Grand Prix here. So here are the new vehicles to use. In the regular Super Nintendo game, there was the I don't remember the names perfectly, but there was it's like the Golden Fox. There was the Blue Falcon, of course. There was the Fire Stingray, and then I always forget the name of the green one because nobody ever used the green one, but. Yeah, so what we have here is the Hot Violet, a very good balanced vehicle to start with, has good turn performance, has good acceleration too, however the max speed isn't very good. The boost is pretty solid though, having a 6-second boost is pretty good. However, that's not the one I'm going to use today. The Fireball, very good one, has high top speed, very long boost time, but the boost is actually a little bit slower than the other one, and its turn performance kind of sucks, so that's the only main downside with that one. The JB Crystal has the longest boost time available, which is very good. However, its max speed is terribly low, and its turn performance isn't that great, so I don't know. It's a fun one to use in certain situations where long boost would be a good idea, but not my favorite. The one that I'm going to use is the Windwalker. Its top speed isn't necessarily great, but it has a very high boost level, and the boost time being 5.3 is actually pretty good. Its body strength totally sucks. But the big part about it, for me at least, is the turn performance is outstanding. So I'm going to run with that one. It's the one I'm most comfortable with. So here we go. There are 3 different series to work with here. We have Pawn, Knight, and Bishop. Kind of very similar to what Super Nintendo did with Knight, Queen, and King. And then you actually can unlock a new series after you beat all 3 of these on Expert mode. But we're going to go through all of them at all the different difficulty levels because you do unlock something different with each one of them. So we'll do Pawn level here first. On Beginner. When we get through the pawn level, then I'll tell you what we unlock. I'll show you the prize. So here we go, my friends. As it goes in all the F-Zero franchise things, or at least that I know of, I mean, you're looking at 5 races each. Each one of them has 5 laps. And for my mini-map there, doing the whole flashing thing, I don't think that it's supposed to do that. I think it's just a little glitch with my ROM, so if it's bothersome to you, well, you know, nothing I can do about it, so you'll just have to get over it. But, yeah, so I mean, I kind of think that it's a little bit cool, actually. I don't know why. It kind of like gives me a reason to look at it. Other than that, though, I wouldn't really look there, though. So watch out for that gray stuff out there. That definitely slows you down. But for me, I mean, my theology, and I'm pretty sure most everybody that plays F-Zero games would agree, that when you get turbos in this game, because you do get one after every lap like this, you'll see down there on your boost screen that you get one of those green S's there. That would be prime territory that, I mean, everybody seems to use 1 per lap. And the fun part is trying to find the part that's most useful in. So for me, I would use it right here, because during your boost and or nitro, as some people would call it, you're totally immune to slowdown effects. So for certain situations where you need to catch up a little bit, well, you know, go ahead and use your boost right there. It's also good for shaving off some extra time if you're the type that likes to do time attacks and such. So, if you don't really know how that works, I mean, it'll give you your time elapsed per lap deal at the end of each lap, and if you get the green flashing deal, that means that you have set a lap record. So keep that in mind. I will be setting a lot of lap records as we go along. I am very competitive with myself as far as that concept is concerned. I know I've been talking a whole lot as far as, you know, in the opening minutes here, but, I mean, the soundtrack is pretty good, I would have to say. I would say that it ranks up there with the original F-Zero. That one had just an immaculate soundtrack, but this one, as far as being like a Game Boy Advance title, it's really good. It really is. There's a couple in here that they rank in my in my top favorites area as far as like a racing game goes, and I'll tell you when we get there. I'll just kind of kick back here for a minute. The thing that I like about this game in particular, especially for the way they constructed these races, is that they do a really good job of giving you, especially in the first circuit here, they give you a really good starter track. They give you really good starter tracks for all of these, for all the circuits. That way, they, you know, for people that don't really know which one to pick, they can kind of just ease themselves into it. They don't have to like worry about, oh my god, I went to the Bishop circuit and it's, you know, all the races are way too fucking hard. So, you know, they make it a little bit easier on you. The other thing I like about this too is that like the rival cars, not like the main ones that you go up against, but like the lackey ones, the ones that totally suck, that you can lap like 50 times. The models that they used for those are definitely a lot better than the ones that they used in the Super Nintendo version. You know, the ones that look like the really awkward like football helmet ones. Yeah, the ones that they use now, I think they're like different colored versions of the Fireball and maybe the Hot Violet. I'm not sure. I know that the Fireball is at least one of them. But yeah, so this is the start farm. I mean, this looks like the most desolate area in the history of the world for a farm. Like, look at that shit out there. Who would want to build a farm out here? Better yet, who would want to build a racetrack out on a farm in the first place? Would be the other point of emphasis there. And like everything looks like it's all like, you know, like filled with radiation and terrible everything. Yeah. The song that they put for this track always like gave me the sense of, I don't know, it's like, it sounds like it's so like dangerous and or like really like bad. I don't really know how else to put it necessarily, but that's kind of the association that I got with it. It's like, oh no, this sounds so evil-ish, or like really like, I don't know. I think like if you could put desperation into like a personification of something, then that would be the other thing I would draw out of it. And another lap record. Yeah, I don't know. I've always been, I love the Windwalker as a vehicle in this game. Just the way that it's turning is so sharp. I mean, I feel like a couple of people may ask why it is that I keep pumping the gas. Well, it does make your turning a lot easier. I mean, that's definitely a big thing that I made a very large point of emphasis for any of the F-Zero games. You can definitely improve your, I mean, you can improve your turning with pumping the gas like that, because when you start sliding around, it'll kind of help you regain your ground there. But I mean, you can also use the L and R buttons, because those, I mean, they help you like kind of like shift around. You can make some really sharp turns that way, but I very rarely use it. It's just not a particular thing that I ever use that much, because it does make you slide around in some situations, and if you're not very skilled with and not really comfortable with how you're turning with it, then it may not be a very good idea to go with that. So, try to make the experience as easy for you as you possibly can. So we're headed off track 3 here. The record total, of course, that's going to happen at the end of every race. You're going to have a record total because of the fact that there are no records set. So, off to the Imperium Colony. I think there's only a couple of tracks for Imperium Colony in this game. There we go. If you time it just right, just like in the other F-Zero game, you can definitely get a nice jump start. You can kind of tell that you can tell when you've overdone it, because like when you rev it up, it'll go and that's when you need to let off the gas. Oh shit, that wasn't a very good turn at all. You'll have to, if I've been talking too much, let me know in the comment section, and I'll try to scale it back a little bit. I feel like I'm just trying to get all the basic, you know, opening jargon, let you know everything that's going on out of the way. So I don't want to like totally, you know, drown out the awesome soundtrack in this game. So if I've been you know, flapping my gums a little bit too much, you know, please do not hesitate to say, hey Adam, shut the fuck up. You're talking way too much, and I want to hear the goddamn music. So just let me know, my friends. Do not hesitate to say, hey, you fucking suck. And I don't mean that in the sense of, you know, I actually suck. but be like, hey, shut your trap, man. I want to be able to hear things. But yeah, I mean, the difficulty as far as these tracks are concerned, it never really picks up until we get pretty much to like the expert difficulties in this game. I mean, it's the first, doing it on beginner and standard mode, you really don't get any sort of like actual challenge. I mean, if you're really good at racing games particularly, there's no real sense of challenge until you get to expert mode. I mean, that's when things really, I mean, you really have to know exactly what's going on. Like, you have to really know the best areas to use your turbos in. You got to be pretty much on the top of your game at all times to really be able to succeed in it. And that is when you'll be able to unlock the, I think it's the Queen Circuit. And that's when stuff gets really, it gets fucking real from that point on. That's when the tracks get significantly more difficult, regardless of the difficulty level, pretty much. So, hopefully we'll get there in a timely fashion. This is gonna, I mean, it's not gonna be a very long Let's Play, we'll put it that way. It's gonna be just kind of a quick and painless thing, nothing too long, necessarily. I've been playing this game a lot lately, which I don't even know why. Like, it just kind of like randomly jumped into my brain. I was like, hey, remember F-Zero Maximum Velocity? Yeah, that game was awesome. I used to play it all the time when I was little. That was a really bad usage of my turbo, by the way. Okay, well, that one's done there. Let's see, was that the fourth one or was that the third one? Oh yeah, that was the third one. Alright guys, well I have run out of time for this particular episode. When we come back next time on F-Zero Maximum Velocity, we're going to do the second coming of the Stark Circuit, the Stark Farm actually. Let's see if we can get that jump start though. Of course. I'm really good at getting that. So yeah, when we come back we're going to do tracks 4 and 5, and then we'll head off to the next circuit. So this is your host AMF1534 saying thank you guys for watching. I'll probably talk a little bit less next time because I won't have so much to speak upon since we got all the basic stuff out of the way. But yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.